So let's get started with this. First of all, what was your reaction when you got the offer from Baylor?
Well, I mean, it was just all around just a great day. It was January 21st, 2022. It was me and my girlfriend's two-year anniversary, so I was spending time with her, and we had just got some food, and then I get the call from Coach Roberts, and we just talked about like my character and how they did like a deep evaluation on me. They compared Terrell Bernard's junior season to my junior season, and then they just went ahead and they're like, "Oh, we want to go ahead and offer you a scholarship to come play at Baylor." So I mean, it was great. It was a great experience, especially with them being so close to home. I think they're only like 35 minutes away, so you can't beat that.
Yeah, how's your family feeling about you being so close to home?
I mean, they're so excited. I mean, we got a few Baylor alum in my family, so they're very excited. They're happy, and they support my decision. They always support anything I choose to do.
That's great to hear. Um, and it was a pretty quick turnaround from the time you got your offer to when you decided to commit to Baylor. What
Yes,
was
sir.
what was that process like, and how did your thought process change once you got that Baylor offer?
Uh, Recruiting was kind of slow for me, honestly. Been starting on varsity for 3 years. Defensive newcomer of the year my freshman year, then MVP for the defensive side the past 2 years. So I figured it would pick up. I just never knew when, but I feel like it was good that God like allowed me to wait, and he allowed me to fight through like the adversity that I did, and it just allowed his prayers and hard work and just determination really just all paid off. And I don't know. Whenever I got offered by Baylor on the 21st, and then on the 28th, I went up there the next Friday, and then that Monday, after the Monday after the Friday, I went up there. I got on FaceTime with the entire staff. They were just talking about how much they want me. They talked about the defense and where they see me doing, and then they see me playing a similar role to how Terrell Bernard did. And then afterwards, after I got the phone with the entire staff, Alec Osborne, he works at Baylor as well, and we got on FaceTime, and when I was talking to him, he was taking notes of what I was saying, and he was like writing them down on a piece of paper. And then nobody's ever made me feel that important to where they look at me in my eyes and they're writing down what I'm saying and just like taking in my thoughts. And what they're asking, like, what did I see at other places I didn't see at Baylor? And I really didn't see like much of a difference. I mean, everybody showed the same thing, but Baylor's vibe was just so different, and it felt like a family oriented vibe for sure.
Interesting. What made you feel like it was a family oriented vibe?
Because Baylor's close to home, so I've been up to Baylor quite a few times. But I just feel like each time everybody remembers me who I am and up there. And then when I went up there on the 28th, they had some new people come in on the new staff, and they were quick to introduce themselves and try to build a relationship, get to know me, things like that. And even with the people who I already knew up there, they still try to build on top of the bond that we already have and just grow relationships. And they're always staying in contact with me.
Gotcha. It also sounds like your faith is something that's important to you. What are your thoughts on going to a Christian university and a college that, or a sports, like a college sports team that puts that emphasis on faith?
I think that's great. I don't think I could do anything without God. God is God in me, and I'm extremely blessed. It's like every week that I'm getting a new accolade or new achievement, and I just feel like I couldn't have done that without God. And there's a lot of times where I felt like is all the hard work that I'm doing like worth it? Because like I was like, of course, like the end product on the field was awesome, it was great, you couldn't beat it, but like the external things like the offers and the attention, the recruitment wise, and the stars and all that. Just a lot of times I question like, am I doing the right thing, and am I working hard enough, things like that. But I pray to God every night, and then he blessed me with the SMU offer on the 19th, and then soon after Baylor followed with another offer, and then I went up to Baylor, and then the rest is history, honestly.
Yeah. And you were talking earlier about playing the system like Terrell Bernard and how they were comparing you to him. What does it mean to you to be compared to Terrell Bernard?
I mean that's a great feeling as well because Terrell he's a little bit undersized to be a linebacker, but he made it happen. He made a lot of great plays. He stayed the course as well. I mean, he's been at Baylor I think maybe 4 or 5 years. I think 5 years, right? Uh,
Yeah, I think so.
yeah. So I mean that's another guy who just trusted the system, trusted God, trusted the process, his coaches, things like that. So with him about to be a future NFL player, I mean, I think that's a great comparison and just an honor to be compared to Terrell Bernard.
Are there any aspects of his game that you try to watch or copy onto your game?
I just like how he shoots the gap. I mean, he's fearless when he pass rushes. Like whenever he's blitzing, he'll take on that 6'6", 300-pound guard with no problem, no hesitation. So that's why I admire him most. Like he plays the game fearless, and he doesn't get down on himself whenever he misses a tackle or he makes a mistake. He just always thinks next play.
Do you have a relationship with the linebackers that are currently at Baylor?
No, sir. I don't think I've ever met any of the linebackers up there. TJ Franklin, number 90, he's a defensive lineman. He's from Temple as well. And then Ashley
Yeah.
Logan, I think he played Jack, and he was number 34. He also from Temple as well. So I knew those guys. I talked to them guys frequently. But with the linebacker wise, no, sir. I never met anybody or have a relationship with the linebackers up there.
Did your conversations with those guys like TJ Franklin affect the way you thought of Baylor and your decision?
Of course. I talked to TJ when I was up there on the 28th, and then we texted pretty much all night that Friday night talking about Baylor. And then I called Coach Sean Bell, the quarterback coach, and he was like, look at the offers you have and like tell me which one is a defensive minded school. And I think like a defensive minded head coach, and I think Baylor may have been the only one that I had their head coach is defensive minded. So he put it to me like that. He was like, he's gonna take your game to a whole nother level, and you don't see the game of football differently whenever you're getting coached by two defensive coordinators and two linebacker coaches. And Coach Ren has a great track record with him. Of course, winning the national championship at LSU. So I just felt like it was a great fit for me, and it fit me for who I was as a person and as a player.
Gotcha. What's your relationship like with Coach Aranda?
It's great. I see a lot of him in me. He's just so like quiet and even keel. Like you never see him get out of character, things like that. Like he doesn't really show a lot of emotion. But I would say like whenever I committed, I was on FaceTime with him. And he was so excited. He got to start beating his chest. He said it made their day. So it was great to see some emotion out of him, of course. But I just like how he's so calm but urgent at the same time. And I just like the way he coaches, and his product obviously goes to show that he gets the job done.
Is that how you are in game? Do you try to be calm throughout the game?
I'm say I'm pretty calm. 95% of the time, whenever I make a tackle, I really don't celebrate. I may like do a little fist bump, or I don't do much of that whenever I make a play. I always feel like that's just a standard. Like that's what's expected of me is to make plays. So I don't see it as something new. Even like whenever I scored the game-winning touchdown in one of our games, I didn't really celebrate. I just ran. I ran to the end zone, trying to look for my family, but I always find them for every game, but I couldn't find them for that game for some reason. So I ran around the end zone, and then I just handed the ball back to the official, no celebration or anything, and went on the PAT team, and then we went back on the kickoff, and that's just how I thought. Like the coach was trying to take me out the game, and I was like, no, like I want to finish the game out. I want to be on the field in these last moments.
Is that just like a next play mentality?
Of course, yeah. I don't remember a time where I really just like celebrated after a lot of plays. I never really been like that. I mean, maybe in first grade, like with Little League football, I think I did a celebration. I got flagged like 2 or 3 times, and my dad was the head coach, so he yanked me in front of everybody. So I think that's why I don't celebrate, is because I had bad experiences whenever I did celebrate, and they were quick to throw a flag on me. So I just don't celebrate anymore.
That's funny. I can't blame you for that.
Yes, sir.
What's your relationship like with Ron Roberts, defensive coordinator?
Coach Ron Roberts is cool. I mean, we've talked multiple times. We have a really good relationship. We always talk about like what they see me doing, and like we just talk about their defense and like their responsibilities when it comes to linebackers and pass coverage, and just how they fit the gaps and like what kind of defense they run. We talk about that, and then we just talk about how we've been doing and what our week was like.
Gotcha. Is there an aspect, or are there multiple aspects of your game that you want to focus on developing, and how do you think being coached by these Baylor coaches will help you with that?
Of course, I want to work on my speed. I mean, you can never be too fast. So I want to continue to work on my speed. I want to work on block shedding because, of course, in the Big 12, you're going to be facing like massive offensive linemen, like the 6'7s, like the 350-pound, 350-pound tackles, things like that. So block shedding for sure. Just because I'm a little undersized to be a linebacker, so you definitely have to put emphasis on block shedding as well. So that's what the two things I'm really focusing on.
Gotcha. Is that something that you're working on in the off season?
Yes, sir.
Do you have relationships with some of the other Baylor commits? I know you play on the same 7-on-7 team as Austin Novosad and Javion Wilcox. Relations with those guys or other guys?
No, really just those two that you mentioned, Austin and Javion. Me and Austin were really close. Before we even had any offers or any stars, me and Austin had a great connection 7-on-7. I don't know if you saw the video where he threw the ball.
I don't think I saw it. No.
It's on my Twitter. It's a pretty recent post. I
Oh,
was
okay.
wearing a Baylor shirt in that video as well, and I just felt like it was always meant to be. Austin, great leader, great passer. Austin's very well-rounded quarterback. I think he got his fourth star today, I think, or yesterday, and it is very well deserving. Austin's a great player. Play on the same 7-on-7 team, so I see the work that he puts in, and it's just awesome to see Austin flourish into what he has become now.
What does it mean to you to be able to play with those guys at the next level?
I think that's great. They're going to push me to be better. I'm going to push them to be better, and I just feel like we're just going to push each other to make better. So hopefully we get into the college football playoff, and I think that's the main goal. Like they've already won the Big 12, so we want to think bigger and win the college football playoff now. Oh, go to the college football playoff.
So you grew up a Baylor fan, right?
Yeah, Baylor and Ohio State were usually like they were always like my favorites growing up because Lake Seastrunk he broke numerous records whenever he was in high school, so that was about when I was like 4 or 5. So when I was growing up, I would always go to the Wildcat games and I would see Lake play. And then I of course went to Oregon for a year, maybe a year, but then he transferred back to Baylor, and I just saw him just pretty much explode. He went had a little short stint in the NFL. So I just always looked up to guys like that, were people from my town and my city that that made it out and they did something with their college career. So that was always great for me to see and look up to.
Yeah. Um, is there a favorite moment from your time growing up watching Baylor?
Favorite moment? I don't know. That's a hard question because it's been so many moments. But that OU thing that happened this year, that was pretty crazy to me. Like how like how you let the time click down. They stormed the field once, and then
Oh
they kick
yeah,
a field goal and on the field again. That was great to see. That was a crazy moment to watch on TV. But also like the Oklahoma State stop, that was big time for me. I think that's one of my favorite moments as well. Even though it just happened like not too long ago, I mean that's still on my top three for sure. Baylor moments.
yeah, I bet especially as a defensive player.
Yes, sir. That's crazy. Just it's a game of inches, and that's all he missed out on the Oklahoma State running back.
Yeah. Have you talked to any of the players that have offers from Baylor but haven't yet committed?
Yeah, I've talked to Mikhail. We go to the same school. He's a 4-star athlete, so I talked to him about it. I talked to who else I talked to. I'm not sure, but I know I tweeted out like if you have an offer from Baylor, come home, things like that.
Yes.
So definitely gonna once I get like a better relationship with the commits that we have now, that's when we'll start pushing out on other people. But like right now, I'm still trying to take in like the moment. Honestly, it's just crazy that my life changed in a matter of like 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and I'm still trying to take it. It's still unbelievable to me.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. Um, what would you tell Baylor fans about the player that they're getting?
I think you're getting a hardworking, diligent person, man. Like I know a lot of people say that they're the hardest worker in the room, but I truly believe that I'm the hardest working person whenever I step in the room. You can ask my coaches that. You can ask anybody who's like seen me like really like develop into like a young man and a great football player. I'm steady watching film. Like that's what I spend my nights doing. Like now, football season over, I got home like at 5:30, and I don't know what to do. I'm glad we had this interview because I have nothing to do. I don't really play the game. I
Wow.
don't go to parties. I do none of that stuff. I just like my life revolves around football. So like with football season being done, I just been I just been going day by day. Honestly, I don't really have much to do on my schedule. Uh, Getting a hardworking person, just I think I just run to the ball with bad intentions. I just feel like I try to impose my will on my opponent, and I'm here to take Baylor to another level. Honestly, I'm I'm really excited about going to Baylor. That's all I can say. I'm just at a loss of words because I never really like my whole life changed, and I know I keep saying it, but my life really changed in 3 weeks.
No,
So
yeah,
it's
that's
just a
so
lot.
sick. That's so sick.
Yes, sir.
What does it mean to you to like? What does it mean to take Baylor to the next level? I know. I guess one thing would be making the playoff or winning a national championship, but is there anything outside of that?
I think honestly, just putting on for like my area code in the 254 and just my town in general. I think I'll be the fourth person that goes to Baylor from Temple. Like in recent history, of course, I'm sure we've had other people who play football at Baylor from Temple, but in recent history, like while I've been alive, I know I'll be the fourth person to go to Baylor, and I just feel like that's important to me. I'm finishing. I'm going to finish where I started at, and it's close to home. All my family and friends can see it. I'm excited because I really get support system. Every sporting event I go to, I have at least like 12 family members there. So I'm really
Wow.
thankful for them, and so I'm glad to travel like maybe once or twice throughout the season to see me play. I'm glad they can make it to all my home games for sure.